to How to Paint Watercolors. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello everyone, welcome back to Painting Watercolors with me, Colin. I've just stretched my paper. This is £140 Brockford extra of watercolour paper, and I'm just drying off the little sea area there. I've added masking fluid to the sails so they don't get contaminated with the paint. I'll give you a quick run round of the colours I'm going to use for this. You don't have to use these colours, you can use any colours of your own, or you can substitute any colours. We have quinacridone gold, cobalt violet, turner maroon, Brentel's marine, burnt umber, neutral tint and a bit of viridian. And with that we'll get a little bit started. I'll put a glow in the sky with the quinacridone gold, bring it through the ship a little bit. Don't mind if it goes into the sea. Taking some of the cobalt violet. And I'm going to take some of this cobalt violet and bring it in here, darken it with a touch of neutral tint. Doesn't go far, this cobalt violet, you'll have to be careful. Just want to drop this in a little bit. And I'm going to take some of the turner maroon and just bring this in. I'm using a mop brush for this, but you use any brush that you feel comfortable with. Just creating interest in the sky. Viridian green. I'm going to pop some of this in where this wave is, just for a shock of colour. Take the last of the cobalt violet, tiny touch of the turner maroon. I'm just going to take a kitchen towel. I'm just going to pull this through some of the paint, just creating some interest in the sky before we put the next layer in. Take some of the turner maroon, fair amounts of this, I want it quite thick. I want to darken it with some of the neutral tint. I think that will do it. I'm going to leave this to dry off for a moment or two, although I might just drop a little in here just to check the colour on it. Yeah, that's fine. This has to dry off a little and then we can put some clouds coming in through and framing the boat. I've given this about 10 minutes for the paint to settle into the grain of the paper, but it's still wet. I want to put some darker tones in. So this is the colour we mixed up, the turner maroon and a neutral tint. I want to bring some clouds into this. Nice and dark up here. A bit more neutral tint in that just to deepen it. Then I'm going to take some water and I'm just going to drop this in and let it push the colour around. The board is lying flat. And we'll see if we can create some nice effects with this. A lot of people are afraid of water in watercolour. You shouldn't be. And now I'm going to leave all that to dry. Now that's lovely and dry, you can see the yellow's dissipated and you've got granulation in the sky. Always make your skies interesting. I've cleaned up the palette a bit and I've added a cobalt blue, and into that cobalt blue I just want a tiny bit, let's have a look at it, just to grey it. Now this has to be watery. And we'll come to our sails. I've re-wet the sails and I will be doing this to each one. Where the shadows start to form, there's a little bit of blue in the sails, so I'm going to add it, whilst also remembering to leave some of the sail white. And we'll be building the sails up section by section. I'm going to come over the top of this. I want some of the colour to show through, some of the blue, and we put the next set of shadows on. I'm going to re-wet the sea area while we strengthen this colour up. I'm going to take some turner maroon. Some neutral to it. And I'm just going to pick out the horizon line, dabbing it in. I'm going to allow it to spread. Making it a really deep colour. I even have to go darker than that. But I do want some of the underlying colour to show through. And then I'm going to let that dry. Just continuing on with the sea while we're still waiting for the sails to dry. And the sea's dried out nicely. And I'm just going to add some movement and waves in the background with a flat brush. I've done the other side just to save a little bit of time. I think it's dry enough to move on to the sails. Now I've re-wetted these two sails in the front here. The reason why I re-wet them is so the paint spreads. What we can do is just lay another colour on top of it. I'm just going to take a little bit of this colour, that's cobalt blue. I'm going to drop a little bit of the maroon and neutral in it. I'm going to begin to darken the sail shadow. And I'm just adding it in, curling it round. You see I'm just curling it. It comes in here but it leaves a little light streak there, so I'm going to try and keep that there, just a little along this edge. Re-wet this one as I've told you, and I'm just going to allow this to flood out. This one seems to be in a lot of shadow from that one. Just make this slightly stronger just by adding a little bit more cobalt blue, a little bit more neutral, just put the next shade in. just softening any edges in. Doing these sails will take you some time, so you must remember that. Taking a damp brush and just moving the paint around and just softening all the edges out. And then once again, that will all have to dry, and then we'll put the masts in. I'll do that separately because it's just blocking in really, you won't miss anything. Okay, I finished putting the mast in and the prow. You didn't really miss anything, it was just very straightforward colours. That's on the palette, a couple of rings on it. We can just flick in with a brush, and I'm going to take some cobalt blue and a little neutral tint. And I've re-wet the ship, but on the top half it's blue, so I'm going to put this colour on. French ultramarine and burnt umber, almost makes it look like a black. I'll take some of the blue French ultramarine and just drop it in here, and I'm just deepening it just to add a little bit of difference to it. Darker on this side. I do want a little bit of the underlying colour to show through. Just going to drop a little bit of the French ultramarine into the boat. Once again, that has to dry. Okay, now that that's dry, I've just spent about half an hour putting the rigging in, and we're going to mix up another colour. I'm going to take some turner maroon. I'm going to darken that slightly with a bit of French ultramarine. Some neutral tint as we come forward with the waves. I do want some of the green to show through. I'm just dragging the brush just to create a hit and miss effect just in some places. I'm just using the tip of the brush, just creating some wave shapes, leaving some of the other colour to show through. So then I'm just going to take some water and a damp brush, just fuzz the edge out. And then I'm going to let that dry. Now that's dry, I've just taken some white paint in. I've just put a couple of wave crests in the back, but not too many. As we come around to the front, put some in here. Just putting it on and just pulling it in the direction of the wave, adding a few splashes, just using the side of the brush and just dragging it. Not too much paint on the brush. Don't get too carried away with putting highlights on. It really is there just to pull your eye in. And with that, I think I'm going to call that a day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. You are welcome to leave a comment should you wish to do so. All comments are welcome. Please consider subscribing. All subscribers are welcome and it's free. So once again, until next time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Thank you.